Brodes Media.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on in to Sports Talk with Brodes. I just want to thank everybody who ran into me over at the Wells Fargo Center Sunday afternoon at the Flyers Carnival. It was amazing. People were dunking me in the dunk tank, and it was good stuff. So I just appreciate all of you for all the love and support because obviously, as I always mention, without you guys, none of this is possible. So I appreciate it. And look, there's still some Philadelphia Eagles news to discuss. Kenny Pickett versus Justin Fields. And this really shouldn't be a debate. I think it's pretty obvious the Birds did the right thing. Kenny Pickett and Justin Fields, it's not about the long-term projections on what each of them can be if they were a starter and you can let them grow. That's irrelevant. It's really about who gives you the best chance to win this season, and actually more than that because the cost efficiency and the length of the deal with Kenny Pickett makes it even more valuable to the Eagles. But in Justin Fields' case, it's just about what could he do while getting 0 snaps all year long until about 2 or 3 games in the season where Jalen Hurts goes down, is nursing an injury for a couple of weeks. He needs to enter, and Kenny Pickett needs to enter for a couple of games without getting any snaps all year. So I don't want this to become, but Justin Fields and his ceiling is higher if he could ever get a chance to blossom. It's not about blossoming down the road and a 5-year window from now, because to me, it's pretty apparent that Jalen Hurts is our franchise quarterback. So the question becomes, in a 3-game sample size, who can go 2-1? And my answer would be, I think both of them. And if it's about both of them being able to do it, which one makes more sense for your team? And you didn't trade more for Kenny Pickett. You actually just traded back. It was a pick swap. So you didn't give up a third for Kenny Pickett. You gave up 22 draft slots or so. You went from the 98th to the 120th. It's not about the 7th round picks in 2025 because that's not the difference in you making this deal or not. And you can't pretend like that aggravates you. So moving back 22 spots to get a backup quarterback that is extremely cost efficient, which is part of the reasons why you're capable of signing a Saquon, getting a CJ Gardner-Johnson, making the offseason moves that Howie Roseman made, is because you value that minimal cap space. Because I was driving home from my radio shift on Saturday night, and the people following me, Ben Kenny, Dan Wilson, very entertaining show, but they brought up, why does Howie care too much? This isn't baseball. This isn't arbitration. Nobody thinks that way, and you're right. That's why Howie Roseman is the greatest financially, is because he views it that way when the rest of the league doesn't. Everyone's playing catch up, and they're trying desperately to have the organization ran the way Howie Roseman runs it, and they can't think that way. Howie Roseman thinks differently, and you got a capable backup that, in my eyes, with this offense, as long as he just holds the fort down with these skill position players, with what I believe Kellen Moore's offense can be, then Kellen Moore makes them, not Kellen Moore. He's not playing quarterback, although I'm sure people in Boise will love to see him strap the pads up and see what he can do, because his college tape, some people say, wow. But I think Kenny Pickett makes sense. Makes way more sense. And I don't know what to believe, because the original report was the asking price was way too high prior to Justin Fields going to Pittsburgh. And now we're hearing the other side get leaked, and they're claiming that there were multiple better options out there, multiple teams involved, and there was at least a better option out there, but they wanted to do what's right for Justin Fields, which is ludicrous and tells you the incompetence of the Chicago Bears and their front office, because you can't give up assets and say, you know what, I'll take a 6th that maybe could be a 4th because he deserves it if you lost a better offer on the table, because that's silly. But I know for damn sure that Howie Roseman likes Kenny Pickett, liked him at the time when he was playing at Pitt, liked him as a college prospect and someone who could maybe be something in this league. So it makes a lot of sense for them to do that. But in reality, it's all irrelevant because Marcus Mariota, Gardner Minshew, Kenny Pickett this upcoming year, Justin Fields this upcoming year, they all, in my eyes, because of what's surrounding them, can do well enough if they are needed for a 3-game sample size to go 2-1. So at that rate, what's the best compensation package that you could put together and it not hurt you that badly, right? You're not giving up a ton. You're not over giving. You're not giving way too much. You're giving up cheap. You're moving back spots. That's it. It was a pick swap. So it's outrageously good. I'm surprised that there's that many people on the side of Justin Fields to begin with. And I think what's happening is you're forgetting about the context of where this team is, and you're just thinking of who can maybe be the best. And I don't even know if Justin Fields is significantly better than Kenny Pickett. I believe his raw, natural ability is more appealing than Kenny Pickett's game. I think Kenny Pickett is more polished around. The game looks more structured with the way he plays compared to maybe the outrageousness of Justin Fields. But they were both in very unfortunate circumstances. So that doesn't really apply that, well, and this is even coming from someone who supports the Kenny Pickett move. Well, Kenny Pickett could do better here because he was stuck with Matt Canada and an offense that was clearly frustrating. Yeah, but the Chicago Bears are irrelevant. They did at least get DJ Moore, so I'm sure in theory they thought that could be great. But look, the rumors around are real, that it's not as if people are willing to give an arm and a leg for Justin Fields for a reason. So I do believe for whatever reason, whether it was where he was drafted or the fact that he was a big-time Ohio State quarterback, I believe people are more intrigued by him just because of the name. Don't tell me it's because of the hand size of Kenny Pickett and you're allowing that to impact your view. Maybe the gloves, because the gloves are hideous. And I mean, there is no such thing as good swag from Kenny Pickett, and it's extremely disappointing. I don't know if I can continue with that trash from an eye appeal type of, I mean, seriously, garbage. Someone has to smack him in the face and say, you look like a clown. No swag. You can't go out there like that. But all jokes aside here, maybe the Bears didn't want to even allow Howie Roseman to be involved, because the second you get Howie involved, you get pants. There's a fear factor of, I don't even want to pick up a damn telephone with the area code 856-609-215, whatever Howie Roseman operates with. I mean, let's be honest, that man probably has 5 or 6 phones. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if that, you know what? I don't know. But I'm sure Howie Roseman rolls up some fat blunts, I'm just saying, and he's got one on the side just in case, he doesn't want to accidentally text the guy he picks up from. Hey, what are you thinking, a third and a fifth, and then accidentally go, picks up, we got the nod from Jeffrey, and it wasn't really Jeffrey Lurie, it was Jeffrey, the dude he picks up an ounce from on Friday nights. I don't know, this is getting outrageous. Maybe the Bears wanted to throw him into the AFC, so if he does ever become something, they won't get annihilated by the fan base, or it won't come back to bite them in the ass. But truth be told, it will no matter what. I think this Caleb Williams kid is a clown. I'll be honest with you, I really do. I hate the way he approaches a lot of this stuff, but whatever. I don't know if Justin Fields is going to be great or not, but I do know that anybody who's going to take a backup role from Jalen Hurts is going to just have a limitation on how much they can grow due to playing time. So it's really about who they are now. And I believe Justin Fields is a little bit more project-y than Kenny Pickett. Pittsburgh fans despised him like no other. And I do hate this trait. Okay, so apparently in Week 17 against the Seattle Seahawks, he was asked to be the emergency quarterback, and he said, I'm not putting on the uniform for you. So once again, I don't know what we're doing here, but that's how we got here. I don't know how we got here, but we got here, and that's how the world is these days, and I don't like that. Now, I do believe that there's enough of a respect in this room from Lane Johnson and Brandon Graham and some of these others, Hassan Reddick, as of right now, that you don't have the balls to cause any sort of issues and ruffle any feathers in this damn locker room, because who the hell are you, Kenny Pickett, right? When you're the number one guy, at least you think you are, and you were drafted there, I feel your head gets super big and you think that you could start making decisions decisions that are outrageous early on in your career, but now you're a backup, and if this isn't you seriously, you got to understand where you're at, a big-time humbling moment. Well, I think you got to reassess yourself there, Kenny Pickett.